a little bit of the cool Mova Ultra 3000 mower. This thing has been a lot of fun, and here you can see just a little bit of late night mowing. It's coming down to sunset time, and with the LIDAR, it's got no problems being able to just kind of navigate itself. Just did the backyard, and now it's doing this little narrow strip. This is one of those areas that my previous RTK mower had a lot of issues with. And the big problem really came down to this 6-inch curb here. What would happen was it just could not navigate this. Now, this one does still have some difficulty right here where my lawn sinks down a bit. So I do think I want to play with the mapping on this because as it comes up to this, it does face where it kind of bumps into my sprinkler head right here. And when it kind of goes along here on the sidewalk, this side dips down. And so even with the independent four-wheel suspension, it just doesn't quite know how to deal with that, and it kinda goes around it a bit. So, really, ultimately, what I need to do is take and get that lawn and lift it up and kinda get some dirt under there and get that dealt with, honestly. But for now, what's gonna happen is as it kind of approaches that, it's gonna run into that sprinkler head, it's gonna bump into it, and it's just gonna avoid the area. So that still is a dilemma. This, for such a small area, is easily the most problematic part of my lawn. You're going to see right there as it tries to navigate around it. It's just learned to run away from it. Run away, little robot. It'll eventually kind of come back around and do this backside, but it is an oddly difficult strip. Now, backyard's not a problem, and this area here and that tree that you'll see here in a little bit is not a problem. But yeah, for such a narrow strip of lawn, this thing is just, man, it's just a bear. But yeah, this is the area here, this little 6-inch area where the RTK mower would just get stuck. This one's got the four-wheel, all-wheel drive, and so it's been able to navigate this no problem. But the RTK with the casters in the front, where the two smaller casters in the front and the just two-wheel drive in the back, man, it would get stuck here all the time, and the wheels in the back would just spin. And here you can see how the all-wheel drive is just not a problem, and it's going all around it and getting all the areas and just keeps moving and powering through. And right here, see, it would get stuck. It would get stuck in these areas. Here, it can back up, it can move around it, and it can just get power through and move and no problem. So this has been so much better, and it'll just power up over this curb here in a second and kind of do what it needs to do. So that's where, the all-wheel drive has been a real benefit for me. So, in a second here, it'll kinda do, the perimeter, and then it'll move over to this side, and in a second, I'll show you the backyard as well for those that are interested. But, man, I just think this is an underserved area of, mowing, and suburbs, people just don't think about it. And so, you can see, man, look at this 6-inch curb. Look at the ability to navigate that and to just be so precise on the LIDAR. Like, the RTK just couldn't pull this off. I think sometimes even the truck being parked here, it would interfere with the satellites, but, man, this is such an improvement there. Like, look at the precision, and again, being that the casters aren't in the front and it's got all-wheel drive, I know I'm repeating myself there, but, man, if you saw some of the issues I was having with the other one, that's just such an improvement. So, yeah, it's gonna now move over, to this side, which is just, for the most part, such an easier part of the lawn. And even though it looks simple, I'll show you an area where the other one was really struggling, because as easy as this is, let me go around to the back part of the lawn, and I'll show you, there is this area where there's this, like, cemented in rock spot back here, this area, right? And so what would happen is the other robot, as it would come around and kind of navigate through where the rocks are, those wheels would get stuck and the rocks would just spin. So if you ever see, go back and look at my Mova 3000 setup video, and there are some shots of my original robot mower, and you can see kind of this edge where the edging is, and you see how the all-wheel drive just powers through the edge. Those casters would get stuck here, and the all-wheel drive powers through and just is able to keep moving and navigate and mow without a problem. But the other mower would just spin the wheels and get stuck. So this one also does the cool striping. I don't know if you can see if that shows up on video. I'll go to the backyard and it's probably going to be more visible, and then we'll come back and see how this one's doing. Um, but yeah, these rocks, man, the wheels as they would come across, the mower would get stuck. All right, getting a little crazy with the motorcycle there. And right here in this, it would rut in these kind of areas where I edged. I will say that that's one area that the mowers cannot do. They can't edge. So you do still have to kind of edge this like once a month. And I'll also say when it comes to leaves, these things don't create any lift or any vacuum. And so they're really just kind of chopping off the top. It's just a maintenance cut, really. So you do this, 2, maybe 3 times a week if you've got fast growing lawns. But you'll see that I've got some leaves here, and we'll come back and you'll notice, and in fact here, we'll watch here, see these leaves as it goes over it, those leaves are still going to be there. So see how as it goes over them, it just goes over the leaves. It will not mulch or suck up the leaves. So that's one kind of disadvantage over a traditional mower, is a mower can suck up all your leaves. But this is not going to do that. So uh, we'll kind of go to the back real quick and I'll show you the backyard, which it's already done. And you can see like the striping on that. And it navigates through here. Like this narrow opening was another area that my previous mower, it would literally, you can watch the video, it would knock to the side of the fence or the side of the house and it would just spin. It just could not get the navigation right. And part of it is, excuse me, part of it is I've got two-story houses all around me here, and I've got these trees all here, another two-story house there, another two-story house back there you guys can't see, but check out the backyard. Like, look at all the striping. Man, it just comes out so nice. I've still got my RTK antenna up here from my previous mower, but yeah, man, look how clean and nice that striping is. I've just been really happy with this mower, so yeah, I'm just kind of, having fun with the robot mower, but you can see again as it would navigate from its base, coming around, coming through here, it would just get lost trying to find. You see, like narrow, it can't see the sky. You know what I mean? Can't see it, and it's just got too much going around. It needs lidar, otherwise it's just ping ponging off everything. So yeah, if you live in this type of suburban community and neighborhood and you're looking at a robot mower for yourself, I gotta say, uh, look into a LIDAR model. And the other thing with the LIDAR is, it can see in the dark. And maybe you can't show up on camera, but it is, you see street lights are on, it is getting to be nighttime here. And this thing will run super quiet and the neighbors don't even know. So yeah, it's doing its thing, kind of moving along here. And yeah, if you guys are kind of interested in this, check out my video about the Mova. They've got a 1000, a 2000. This is the Ultra 3000. It seems like complete overkill for my yard. I mean, obviously, I don't need this type of large battery size. I don't have nearly the amount of yard space that requires it. And you wouldn't think I need the all-wheel drive. I don't have any huge hills to climb, but where it's really needed, and you can see it here going around the tree, right? It's super cool. Where it's really necessary, again, is just because I've got that edging and because I've got that dip in the lawn, and it really needs that four-wheel, all-wheel drive. I kind of almost wish they made a lesser model, because this is like a $2,000 mower. So it would be cool if they made like a four-wheel, all-wheel drive, $1,000 mower with a smaller battery that kind of had the features that would allow a smaller yard to take advantage of all of, the abilities that this has, but maybe at a more entry level price point because, obviously, you can't just, for the average homeowner, go out and spend 2 grand for most people. So I can appreciate that, but man, it sure is fun to have. I just have a blast with it, and it's super cool to see it operate. I'm just into these kind of robot overlord futures that we're, eventually going to have where things are automated for us. And this is just one example, whether it's automated cars or automated mowers, who knows what the future holds. But again, you can see it covers every bit of it and doesn't leave any missed areas or stragglers. Like I say, it's not perfect when it comes to the edges for sure, or like around the tree, right? It's not going to be able to get all the way to the trunk of the tree. I have to go around with a trimmer and do that. But, that's maybe once every month, month and a half that I have to do it. It's pretty precise otherwise. Um, I just edged this, in fact, before I let the mower do its thing. That's why it looks, pretty good on the edging. But yeah, it's one of those things that if you're into this kind of tech and you've got the budget available and you're into an all electric mower, you don't want gas in your garage, you've got kids, you don't want to deal with that kind of thing, and you want to just let this loose, especially if you don't have fencing around your house, if you've got a big yard, man, you can just let this thing go and sip on a beer and enjoy your summer. So, yeah, real fun stuff, guys. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. And there's lots of different versions of mower out there. This one is the Mova. I've got, a couple shorts about this. I've got my big video on this that you guys can definitely check out. And I've got referral links and codes and stuff like that. And I'm always happy to answer any questions about it. There's, let's say, tons of different stuff. So, how much is this? Someone was asking. This model is about 2,200 bucks right now. Last I checked, and there are smaller battery models that don't have the all-wheel drive, the Ultra 1000, Ultra 2000. They have those struggled with my yard. If you don't have this type of yard, you have a more open yard. They start at about $1,000, and then a $1,600 one, and then this one is their Ultra 3000. This is like their all-in full version. They all have LIDAR, which is great, but this is their most expensive one at about 2,200 bucks. So, yeah, see if there's any other ones here. Get a hand mower. Yeah. Yeah, there are hand mowers out there, super affordable and cheap, no doubt about it. In fact, some of the coolest mowers, are, in fact, the, hand mowers that, like, golf courses use, where you can get super low cuts. Those things are so precise, and they give you, real mowers, they're called, like, real, not real like authentic or true, but real, like REEL, those real mowers that get really low to the ground. So yeah, you can get a hand mower. That's going to be the cheapest mower you can get. It's not going to mow itself, but those are pretty darn awesome. Thank you for the shout out on the beautiful lawn. I appreciate that compliment. So yeah, like I say, I know these things aren't for everybody. I know uh, I am not under appreciating the cost on this at all. I absolutely understand that it's not something that you can just run out and spend $2,000 for most people. But I do like kind of showing it, and there are some more affordable models than this one. But this is the one that I have, and like I say, the for the one that has the casters in the front, it just wasn't working for me. So I couldn't do the smaller, more affordable models. Just they kept getting stuck. So I had to do this all-wheel drive for my situation. But there's lots of areas where it's just got the wide open lawns, where it doesn't have the multiple gaps with this area here that they were getting stuck in. And so if you've got that kind of situation where it's more wide open, it's not going to be a problem for you. I've got a very simple, small yard, but it's challenging in other ways. So, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's all done. That's it. It's gonna now park itself. It's gonna navigate itself back to the backyard. We'll let it do that, and we'll call it a night. Um, we'll let you guys see it drive itself. I think that's also pretty cool that it just, I don't if I didn't have the fence, that's the hardest thing. I wish it had like a gate, an auto opening gate. There is a brand out there. If you go to Lawn and Order Texas Edition, my buddy Kevin is testing out a new mower, which is super cool. This new mower he's testing has a fence that a gate that you can install into your fence, and it will auto open when the lawnmower approaches, let the mower in, and then close behind it. I wish Mova had something like that because right now I've got to open the fence manually to let the mower in. That's the only bummer is I've got to do that. But my backyard, I can set it on a schedule and it will just go and mow itself and be done. I was in Canada on a trip and I was able to mow it when I was out of the country. I can be at work and mowing when I'm at work. I can't do that with the front yard because there's no way for me to open the fence. If there was a way to remotely open the fence and let it out, then I could mow the front yard and not even be home for it. So, I mean, how super crazy cool is that? So, yeah, we will kind of track it on its way. And you can see, look, it's just dead center, right? No ping ponging off the house or off the fence. And it's just going to go back and park itself. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing it do its thing. It's not the quickest when it's going back to the base. So this point, it's probably not very exciting anymore. And like I say, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. And if you have any other things you'd like to know, I'm happy to share. Any other videos you'd like to see about what this thing can do, I'm happy to share. And I just thought I would spend some time showing this thing live since I had the opportunity. You'll see this thing kind of going back and now steering itself towards the base station. You can see I still have the old mower there. Don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I just kind of keep it. One day, maybe I'll take the two mowers and have them going at the same time just to see them cutting together. It's not like that one doesn't work. It does. It works fine, exactly fine in the backyard, for example. It's just when it tries to navigate to the front, it has a hard time navigating and it doesn't stay on that smaller section or that sidewalk well. It falls off the ledge. It just can't handle it, and it gets stuck, like I said. So, if all this had to do was cut the backyard, it would do okay. It doesn't really leave the stripes like this one does. But yeah, so now it's charging at the base station. It'll upgrade itself with any firmware updates if they have them. And that's it. So for those that have stuck around this long, man, thanks. That was really cool of you. And feel free to check out my other videos, not just mower videos, but EV videos, and I have Powerwall videos and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, hope you guys have a great Friday night and a great 4th of July. I hope you guys come out of the 4th of July with as many fingers as you started 4th of July with. That's important. So we'll see you on the next video.